Hey YouTube. I'm gonna make a video about um, what happened today. I'm gonna go a little backwards. Yesterday, I went to several places with my last $4, and I was like, I'm going to get some help because I have some homeless issues as far as I'm staying with an associate with my children, and I'm looking for a job. Like, I'm prepared, I'm ready, you know what I'm saying? I'm Whether it's the will of God, if I'm ready, it stands to the question. It's the question, right? I'm going to these places where I normally go to the food banks to see if they can help me with some homeless assistance. Also called around and everything like that. But these places seem to where they just were telling me to go and get on welfare. And I was like, I didn't want to go and get on welfare. And then it just seemed like we just wasn't communicating with them understanding the needs that I needed. I was like, I need help with if you have like some interview clothes, and that's all I needed from them was interview clothes. Like, I'll stand in line patiently for the food, but I'll walk to the door and knock on the door for the interview clothes. She was like preaching to me to expand resources of things that I just didn't want to be involved with. I just didn't think it was the direction that God was bringing me to. And he gave me a confirmation later to let me know that to bask in the presence of now, because it's low tide. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of stuff going on. So since there's not a lot of stuff going on right now for me, I should appreciate the time that I'm spending with family, and because things are going to start taking off and things are going to be really busy real fast. So I'm content. I'm happy because uh, a day before yesterday, I'm going to have to make another video about how God himself spoken to me. You know what I'm saying? It was like an everyday stuff, but he spent like an hour reassuring me. He told me my whole life, like from before creation was created, and he had a thought of me to where, and he spoke me through my whole life to righteousness, to him saying he's going to give me a crown of righteousness, right? I was just so overwhelmed, happily overwhelmed, and I was just beyond myself to not. I'm just was like he confirmed every of my heart's desires. Um, my places where no one else is, and how I feel like I'm undeserving, and how I always put myself in an undeserving position, and I always say how I just don't feel deserving, of whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it, and I'm thankful, but I just draw to, like, who am I but this little thing for you to even consider and like even think of. But he said he think the thoughts of me are more than the grains of sand, and I'm just I, I'm still, just to even talk about it, I'm in spiritual shock. My children come home, I'm just like pouring into them, telling them everything that I've heard, everything. They're overwhelmed, I'm overwhelmed, cuz and he said on a first name basis, Jesus. He didn't say Jesus Christ. He didn't say he said he was so intimate, and then his tone changed when he was talking about when he was disappointed in me. It felt so bad. It felt like the bad is bad. Like he didn't have to punish me. His tone changed, and it just enlightened in my spirit to let me know that I never want his tone to change about me. I never want I just want to please him, you know. So all right, so I'm up to today. I'm gonna update it today. No, yesterday. The two places they turned me away. They couldn't help me. They couldn't do nothing for me. I couldn't speak to anybody. Everyone was acting like I was just a hassle, or you know, they were just like tolerating me, and then and they just couldn't help me. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, you know, God already told me everything was gonna be good. Don't worry if things don't go the way that I think they should go or they're planned. And I was like, what? Can't you just sketch it into my soul? All the things so I can just go around like a Sims. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, that's not the way he would want me to live. He wants me to experience life. So, oh, and my face is looking a lot more healthy, you guys. I'm hypoglycemic, so it means that my body doesn't produce enough sugar when they're when they're hyperglycemic. That means they produce too much sugar, so they'll look overweight all the time. Like, it'll be hard for them to lose weight, and it will be a struggle for me to gain weight. So if I'm not in a healthy regimen of things, with my appetite, with food, and my medicine, then my body is gonna decline. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna start going down like a rocket, and and so I'm thankful. But getting back to what I was saying, so I I I find myself going into a meditation of prayer. You know what I'm saying? You pray in the mind. You don't pray like the people do in the synagogues all out because they're praying on people. You know, you pray in the temple of God. You know, they try to mimic everything that God is to use it against the will of God. You can't pray against God. You can't do nothing against God. God is just so almighty. He just has the whole world in his hands, right? So I was looking at a lot of stuff. Like, I'm always reading, and I'm always looking at a lot of stuff, like online. And I was praying, and it was telling me about did if I ever seen an angel, if I ever came across an angel. And I know I have. I've seen them. I've literally seen an angel in full armor standing. I was in a shelter, and I was in the middle of sleep, and I turned over. You know how you turn over and you still sleep, but then I thought something caught my eye, so I was looking, but I was trying to be quiet, and this huge man or something was just standing there. He had armor on, you know what I'm saying? But it was like a cloak or something, not covering him, but like, you know how the superheroes be having that little cloak? And it was kind of like moving a little bit, like it was like a breeze or something moving it. And then I was looking up, and then I guess I got scared, and I made a movement, and then he turned. I seen him. That was the last time I seen. He turned, and then he looked at me from, like, he turned his head and he looked at me from his peripheral, and then he turned real fast, and then I just went back to sleep. I was just asleep. And then I woke up the following day. But I have seen, that was like the closest thing to an angel I've seen, but I've seen angels. I have seen them, right? So they are real. God is real, y'all. So so I was talking with God, because he says bring all your cares, all your needs, every question, everything, just bring it to him. Like every thought, like just go to him. Like he's our best friend. He's our father. I recognize him as a father. Everyone recognizes him as different things, but I recognize him as a father, like, because he cares for me. He just does everything. He's just everything. So I was praying, I was speaking with God about how you know, in this spiritual war, you know, people are blessed to have these positions in their jobs to where they're called to do these services. And if they decide not to carry their cross, or if everyone is called to carry their cross, but it's a lot of people who decide not to carry their cross, you know what I'm saying, but they still have the job. That's a blessing. That's not on their own will. They didn't do that. They didn't make that happen, you know what I'm saying. It was the grace of God upon them. And so um I was like, they should still be doing their job. They base it off of, oh, well, you're carrying your cross, I'm not carrying mine, so since you carrying yours, I'm not going to help you. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, that's not right. They should still be doing their job because that's their job, regardless of their cross. They're carrying their cross. That's personal. That they're supposed to be professional and be in character while they're at work. So I was speaking with God about it, and I was like, I'm ready. Like, I can pass a drug test now. Like, I ain't been smoking no weed. It was just a lot of things, right? So today I'm like, dang, I don't have no more money because I spent it yesterday, and then the text now thing took my last $2. I think I may have like $2 on my card or something, and I went and got some earphones, so I was like, I was tapped out. So I was like, I need some interview clothes, but you know what, I'll just wait until I get my GA, and then I'll just go to the thrift store. I'll just tap myself out and get everything I need and be prepared, and so today I was like, I'm just gonna walk and go and take care of my business, because I looked inside of my stuff and then I found a check for $25 and two checks for $5. So I was like, I'm finna go and see if I can go cash those checks so I can have a couple of dollars in my pocket. Boom. I was like, and then I found a skirt, so I was just gonna piece some stuff together, you know what I'm saying, with my awesome, great personality through the grace of God. I was just gonna make it happen no matter what. So I already went and cashed the check. I was super happy. The praise of God is like in the background of my head is just going off. I'm listening to the Bible. I'm just going about my day. So then I was like, all right, so I'm gonna go to the food bank after I do my go to the check cashing place. So that's what I did. So then I was just still in praise. I was just really happy. And then I just got on the train, and then I sit down, and then I look up, I see a bag in front of me, and guess what? It was a bag of money. No lie. God knows my heart right now. If I'm lying, God knows my heart right now. So I was just like, and then I looked around, and everyone acted like it was like invisible to them or something. I walked up and I picked it up, and I was just like, I could have blacked out. So then they were saying, if an angel leaves something for you, it could be a certain coin or a feather, or something to let you know that it was through the grace of God. Like, because sometimes when I'm walking and I'm not sure what my direction is, I see like a red to let me know that the will of God. Like, how he touched he told everybody to touch the rim of the door so his anger can pass over. So I'll see in the spirit. See, you guys got to see in the spirit and hear in the spirit so you can be connected, because everybody's been tapped. So I'll see a red spot or something letting me know, or I'll just see like a yellow brick road, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'll just know which way to go. And then sometimes I'm just like walking on flowers, like or there's just like flowers in the path let me know. Like, I love flowers. I love nature. I just love, love is like one of my favorite things. So and then I grabbed it, and I held it so tight in my hand it could have dissolved, y'all. And then I looked at it, and then I looked at it again, and I was like, all right, $40 is good. I just got $27. Boom. Now I can get me something from the thrift store. I can be prepared to go to work, because my IHSS probably already went through, because I have a good background through the grace of God. So good. So, and then I turned it over, and I see $100 bill. I see I could have blacked out. I stuffed it so far into my back pocket that it could have went through. And I look up, and now all of a sudden somebody sees me, and then he just gives me a nod, like I'm not sure what that nod was about. You know what I'm saying? Because things work different in the spirit. But I just smiled at him and just like act like nothing happened. And then I just been just I I mean like right after I told him what I needed and everything, like he gave me beyond what I asked for, like, and then I look in the bag, and then I'm not gonna tell part of the story, I'm gonna tell the whole thing. So that I'll come back to that part too. Um so I look in the bag, I go through the thing. It's in total I have like over $300, y'all. Now I got like 350 probably now. You know what I'm saying? I was walking early in the AM to my destinations. I was like willing to walk all over everywhere I needed to go, and I now have like over 350, and I can't even believe it. Like that's like a million gazillion dollars to me right now. And so because I was happy with the 27, but then boom, 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 boom. And so I look in the bag, and then the ID is there. She has like this and like this weird name on her ID. Like I want to return it, but then I'm not gonna return the money, and I'm just gonna be truthful. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it was the will of God. And then this weird coin was in there. It had wings on it. It was just really weird. It was a dollar coin. It looked foreign. It was just really weird. It just in my spirit is just letting me know that it was for me. Then I look in there. It's a gift card for what's the thing? Chick-fil-A. I never ate at Chick-fil-A ever in my life. I always wanted to just to experience it because of the rave about it, but I haven't. I just been doing stuff or living and I haven't ate there, and the lines are always long. So I look on the receipt. It's $15 on the card on my birthday. The date was last used was on my birthday. It's $15 on the card. I'm like, bang. Um, it's just confirmation after confirmation. So then I see another card in there. The card is not addressed to her. It's like a prepaid card in there. It looks like a prepaid card. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. You know the prepaid cards that don't have anybody's name on it. Just has the number on it and everything. So I start ordering stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because I know I need underclothes, and my sons, they need some underclothes. And I was like, well, let me grab some body spray, and then I want the Apocrypha KJV, you know what I'm saying? So I ordered all of that stuff, and I got some jewelry. Like I have ordered a beautiful bracelet and a ring and a necklace. It was just really pretty. I really wanted it, right? But then, like, I was like, am I going too far? You know what I'm saying? I was like, I didn't want to go too far, you know what I'm saying? So I just canceled the order, and I just put the stuff away because just in case I was going too far. You know what I'm saying? Because I just didn't want to go. I just didn't want to do everything I can do. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to do what I was able to do, you know? And just in case, I I didn't want the wrath of God to come up on me. I repented about it. I didn't want the wrath of God to come up. I don't want to displease him, and I just want to evaluate myself, and I just want to just do the will of God. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's one thing. God is calling us to pick up our cross every single day. You know what I'm saying? If you need to repent every day, repent every day. You know what I'm saying? Every single day, come to the will of the Lord. Like, it doesn't hurt. It's gonna hurt if you don't. Cause I also seen a revelation. Cause I used to smoke cigarettes like recently, like, and I'm still using a patch, and I was smoking cigarettes, and I was smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? So he called me to stop. Like, he tapped my spirit for me to stop, you know. And I kept on putting him off, and I stopped, but I kept putting him off. Like, the wisest thing to do is to listen when he tells you the first time. Period. So yeah. So I seen this girl smoking, and it looked like the fumes were like coming off of her like sulfur. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was like you know when you start a fireplace and the smoke starts going, it looked like that. Like, it would look like it was coming up off of her. Like I'm not sure if that's what I mean. I never seen it like that before. You know what I'm saying? Like someone's burning, or You know what I'm saying? I've never seen it like that before. I got another revelation that there's going to be a spiritual drought. You know what I'm saying? You know how there's a drought for food and stuff like that, but in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So you guys stay prayed up and stay in the word every day, because it's going to become a part of you. It just changes your DNA, changes your mind. It just makes you so happy and content with life. You know what I'm saying? He's also calling us to abstinence. You know what I'm saying? Because we were supposed to reappropriate. You know what I'm saying? But we just be breaking wide. You know what I'm saying? I know I was like, I'm trying to put this thing down, but like like we just be doing too much. You know, sometimes it just comes to a point to where we just have to do something different for something great to happen. You know, and yeah. So he's calling us to abstinence because, you know, abstinence without, I mean, it's being active, you know, opens a lot of doors to being deceived. You know what I'm saying? People are sacrificing people to demons now. You know what I'm saying? Trying to, because they're picking sides. You know what I'm saying? And their allegiance will fall upon, either their allegiance is going to be with the grace of God, with the will of God, and you won't lose, or with the losing team, which they're sacrificing their kids. You know what I'm saying? It's just all kind of demonic stuff happening. They doing stuff to people they shouldn't be doing, to animals, all kinds of stuff they shouldn't be doing. Like, it's an abomination. The lives that they're living is an abomination, and their very life is being lived in arrogance of the will of God, who has given them life, right? Because every day is just a new opportunity to follow the will of God. Everyone, not just black people, white people, every people, all the people, right? So yeah, so he's calling us to be a better for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Um, sometimes people think that they're doing good because they're in a group, because the group is deciding to make a decision, and they're making a decision with them, and they're part of a group, so they think that they're doing good. But sometimes we're not doing good. Maybe that's not the best decision that's being made. You know what I'm saying? You have to think as an individual. You know what I'm saying? You being a person, you're an endangered species. You know what I'm saying? You as an individual, you're an endangered species. There'll never be another person. There'll never be another you. You are the first and the last of who you are. You know what I'm saying? Each of us, right? So, and then God, he also revealed to me that not to worry about Satan, because he's just a whole lot of bark and no bite. He don't have no bite. God defeated him on the cross, and that was a long time ago. He's just lingering it on and try to make it seem like he wasn't defeated on the cross, but he was defeated on the cross. That's why I walked in confidence every single day through whatever, because he already has given us victory. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so all of those things happened. Like, I was so in spiritual shock and happiness and happily overwhelmed, that after, like, I had to take so many deep breaths from after saying so many words, that I was exhausted. I had to lay down. I went to sleep for the rest of the night. So it brought me back to when I was 5 years old. Like, my mom abandoned me with this lady on the porch, just like how they used to do. Like people used to be found in trash cans and all kinds of stuff. Like, my mom, I was under 5. I was probably like 3 or something like that. I wanted these Cabbage Patch Kid dolls. Right before all of these things happened, she left them at the door. She let me know that she didn't forget about me, so I appreciate her and I love her. So well, she's gone now, like, she's passed. But I'm just saying, like, when I was like 5, no, before I was 5, I was with this lady named Miss Mary. She used to dog me out, y'all. She used to abuse me. Like, she used to like trash me all the time. And it was when these after school specials used to come on. The after school special described to me exactly what to do. It was like I was on TV, and it was looking at my whole thing, and And my 5-year-old mind comprehended, like, this lady is bad. This lady is hurting me. I need to get up out of here. And it's all right if I run away, if I leave. You know what I'm saying? It let me know. So I left, 5 years old. I ran away. Guess what? I didn't know running away meant just to leave from one place to go to another one that's better. So I just was running until I was so exhausted. I knocked on this lady's door because I needed to use the bathroom. I was exhausted. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know about caring for myself. The lady opened the door. I just collapsed in her door. And then she was like, she was questioning me. Come to find out, she was a social worker. God led me there. She was a social worker. I told her everything that was happening. She seen the bruises all on me and stuff. And then I went to McLaren Hall. And then that started my cycle of foster care and everything. And then in my foster home, I heard a lot of people outside, and I went outside. I was like, why is everybody being loud? And then they told me, you know how they push kids in the head and stuff. They don't think kids know what they're talking about or whatever. And then because I respect my children, because the will of God told me to before they were born. He told me a lot. So I was like, what's happening out here? And then they were like, oh, you're a child, you don't know what's going on. I was like, well, what's happening? I was just standing there. It was like, go in the house. They're out here praising God. And I was like, well, why don't I feel him then? If anyone should feel him, I should. I'm a child. You know what I'm saying? And then I got a lot of attention for saying that. I didn't know if I said something bad or something wrong. But ever since that very moment, I was called anointed. They poured oil all on my head. And throughout my whole childhood, people would pour oil on my head and call me anointed. And they would anoint me for stuff. And pour oil on my head and anoint me for stuff. Not in like the churches where they rob God. Because let's be for real, God did not call those people to the church to give you no money for the free wisdom that God has bestowed upon you, and you decided to go and take advantage of the will of God that he has placed on you. You're supposed to be carrying your cross, but you laid your cross down to go and do Lord knows inside of that synagogue that you guys have. He already went and turned over the tables and said that his house will be made a house of prayer, but you guys have made God's house a marketplace. You know what I'm saying? And so you're robbing God. Period. So, anyways. So, then I had a revelation when I was 5 that I was going to be in a holy war. So, I just would go around telling people all the time, I'm going to be in a holy war. I'm going to be in a holy war because, you know, I was never a part of anything. So, no one ever acted like they really cared for me or liked me for real. So, I would get disciplined and harshly treated for saying it a lot, so I just kept it to myself, and it just kind of like faded back into me until my spirit was tapped, and then I was just like, boom, you know what I'm saying? I'm in it. It's happening, you know. And I was like, dang, I've been waiting all my life for this. I've been waiting since I was 5 years old for these things to happen. I've been waiting and waiting because he told me it was gonna happen. He told me it was gonna be a holy war, and I was gonna be in it. And I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And now it's here, and I'm in it, and I'm super happy. And yeah, so it was so many words, y'all. I just trying to like just pour out every single word that I had. I didn't want to like skip a beat, but yeah, he revealed so many things to me that he took away every worry he took away. He told me my life from before creation, when he thought of me more than the grains of sand, y'all. Come on, man. Come on. Who else? Who else? Like, I have a motherly instinct when I'm handling somebody, and I don't be meaning to, but then I'm like, you know that's wrong. You know it. Period. So I was at the gas station. I just got off work. I was just going to get something, or I was doing something. And then this man, he got up with the rest of his strength and was drunk. He was like, can you get me a beer? I was like, I don't even drink beer. So, no, I'm going to get you a burrito and a water. And I was like, and after you finish this burrito and your water, then you can do whatever you want to do with yourself. But you need to eat and you need some water because you look dehydrated. And then my son was like, Mom, come here. And I went, he was like, Mom, you can't make that man eat. And I was like, yes, I can. And then I went and I warmed up his burrito. I gave him his water. And guess what? He ate his burrito and he drank his water. But maybe that's not the exact way I should go about doing things. So I'm in deep consideration for myself. God has told me to stop saying how I don't deserve things, because if I didn't deserve it, he wouldn't give it to me. And the people, you guys, you don't pick up your cross, but your very life is in the palm of God's hand. And he alone has granted you the opportunity to live another day, an opportunity to reflect, an opportunity to take responsibility for yourself. There's nothing that's in secret or public that he doesn't know already. You can't hide a secret from God. You can't hide anything from God. There's nowhere. I tried to run. I tried. I tried to ignore him. But he's so beautiful that although I was quiet, I couldn't ignore him. My spirit didn't want to, like my inner child. Like I keep my innocence about me, even though I have my life, right? How? Because the innocence of my youth was taken by my uncle. So I'll let you know about that too. I was in trouble with my grandmother. I think he provoked my grandmother to anger or something, or I did, but she just kept hitting me, and I didn't want her to, and I went into the bath area, and then he swindled me and told me to come in there with him, and I can watch TV in there with him until she go to sleep, until she calms down, and I was like, yeah, because she don't really tell him anything. Everybody's kind of scared of him. Let me just go and sit down in here. And then he told me something vulgar, and it scared me. And then I couldn't get out of the area because he wouldn't let me out. And then a lot of unfortunate things happened to me, and I was just torn down. I was just broken down because that's not what I was doing in my life at that time, and it scared me so bad, it just, and God bestowed upon me to keep my innocence, so I always call it my inner child. You know what I'm saying? So I still watch cartoon. I still do all the things that my inner child likes to do, And for everyone who's experienced the same thing, I'm sure it's the blessing of God to have your inner child within you as well. But before he was like a nightmare, and he was in jail, he was in prison. And before he got out, he told me sorry about what he did to me. I couldn't even believe that he would even address it. You know what I'm saying? Because I told on him. I told everybody. And everybody tried to blame it on me and try to make it seem like I was the cause. And I did it. And I wanted it. And I'm like, I don't even have that kind of wisdom. I don't even have that kind of understanding. Or I'm not even making them kind of choices in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure how I could take responsibility for something so gruesome, you know what I'm saying? And no one wanted to take responsibility for it. No one wanted to help me, like no one. My grandmother told me sorry about it before she passed. Crazy, right? A week after he got out of prison, he was on some, I think he was high. He was with this girl. They busted the door, and then they was gonna, unalive him, and then they just, hey Muffin, they were gonna unalive him, and then he jumped from the second story window, and then he didn't even die then. He ran to these ladies' houses and started banging on their door because he had no clothes on, and then they thought he was a crazed lunatic, so they started beating him with a bat, and they beat him to death with the bats. That was just so horrible way to die, right? So, you got to be careful what you do to people. You don't touch people's innocence. You don't, you know what I'm saying? You respect people. And everybody's business is not your business. Whether they're innocent or whatever they have going on with them, it's not everybody's business. So, I'm looking in the oven because at the food bank today I got a sweet potato pie, so I put it in the oven. I am gonna go and get a big old pack of Oreo cookies and graham crackers so I can make some cheesecakes, because I've been talking about cheesecakes. You know what I'm saying? So, long story short, you know what I'm saying? When you decide not to carry your cross, that's just the arrogance of you, because there's nowhere we can go. There's nowhere we can hide. There's nothing that he doesn't know already. You know what I'm saying? He's just asking us to take responsibility for our decisions that we did that come against ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We've come against ourselves, So, after all of those words, I hope someone is encouraged. I hope you've gotten to know me a little bit better. And just to know that you're not in this fight alone. Like he called me a trusted, valiant soldier, you guys. I can believe it. But I'm not the only one. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in this battle alone. And I support you guys, and I'm with you guys, and I love you. And stay prayed up, and take responsibility for yourselves.